Yeah, what's going on, y'all? What's up, River Rat? The thin white Duke, yeah. Bowie's all right. I need some sort of intro. My cold opens, they're just bland. What's up, Steph Warrior? It's good to see you. Friends, tonight we're talking about, again, the Jack and Lily Sullivan case. We decided to focus on Mike Dammann's analysis of the Alvin call, the phone call, because it's good. It's hot. What's going on? Just a clapping seal in the Stacia, purposely not watching the Jays game. Hopefully they win. Maybe it might be me. Fucking ball team. Oh, man. What's going on the streets of YouTube in regards to the Jack and Lily case? A whole lot of bullshit. A whole lot of nonsense, I heard. People getting upset, people getting hot, taken to the airwaves to talk shit, deny, lie. Well, friends, you don't have to worry about that here tonight. Susie Mack, word up. You know, we like to focus on Mike Dammann and his content in this case because it should put a fire and a flare under your ass. Because learning is fun. And statement analysis, if you're interested in, while you're here on YouTube, true crime or deception detection, he's a great channel to learn from. Now, he focuses on a Plaids framework, but, you know, there's fundamentals when it comes to statement analysis that, you know, Mike has based this off of. Everybody's based things off of one another. Everybody is here for the same reasons. For the most part. Stacia, what are you talking about, Stacia in Cleveland? Why are you even bothering talking about the Blue Jays? Don't you have your own team? Don't you have the Guardians, the Indians? I used to love the Indians when Albert Bell was playing. He's such a badass to watch mash a ball. I love it. You only watch me and Mike AB? Fill me on the latest, please. Yes, I like Deception Detective. Yeah, I'm talking more than the channel. I'm talking about the actual thing, the psychological, the study of it. We're hot for learning. We love to learn. Oh, quit being so racist, Julia. You had a Cleveland Indians hat back in the day? Who didn't? This is one of the best logos out there. But if you notice, Baltimore Orioles ball caps have a blackface Oriole on it. So how is it that's acceptable? We know. Chief Wahoo, that's right. That was the name of their mascot or their icon. Oh, I thought the Guardians were only playing. The Guardians were playing. See, I don't follow sports. Oh, you don't even. Oh, you just offered me some sympathy. Well, okay. Well, I'll take it. I'll take it. I thought you were a fan. They'll win. Well, this is a tense weekend because it's the trade deadline. Oh, fuck. Well, semi-woke, Mr. Hemi. It's a pendulum. Robin Hensley, what's going on? Good to see you in here tonight. Mr. Hemi, hello. Maine, USA. I just hate fucking packing the season away. You would think I'd get used to it now being a Toronto fan. But Toronto has a problem with spending all kinds of money and just keeping yourself in there to produce mediocre results in the end. Had such hope coming off of the World Series appearance last year. It's like one of those things where you're like just on cloud nine. How the fuck could you not win that World Series is beyond me. Remember the 18 innings? 2 fucking games in one and they still choked. Oh, man. Fuck is up with you guys? Swing the goddamn bat. Jesus, Murphy. Yes, Sandy Alomar Jr. That's Roberto's brother, Mr. Hemme. Yeah, I liked him too. Yeah, Cleveland had a fantastic team. Back with Kenny Lofton, Carlos Baerga, Omar Vizquel. The best 1-2 combo up the middle, buddy. Yeah, but it's Cleveland. You know something's going to fuck up. I think reality just happened. But they've got a good system anyway. And Cleveland sucks for not actually bringing Vince Dwyer Jr. up through their system. I know a guy that was drafted by the Indians a long time ago. Everybody chokes. Usually everybody chokes anyway, Julia. What's going on, Katie? Good to see you, darling. Mwah. Robbie was your pretend boyfriend before? Robbie Alomar? He was hot stuff on the McCain commercials. He really got around back in the day for being in the 90s. Oh yeah, that was huge. Making me feel nostalgic about the good old days. Been going to Jays games since I was like 6-7 years old, back when you could afford season tickets at the old dump, the exhibition stadium. my daddy's buddy always bought seasons tickets, and so it would fall down and trickle down. So, but now it looks like so much fun. Like they redid the Sky Dome or the Rogers Center, and they have all of these. It went from like a faceless cookie cutter, huge dome stadium to something that's more tailored to baseball in that sense. But they've got all kinds of different sections and an open concourse. You first come, first serve tickets. You can go in and wander and take in the game. That Heinz 57 Club down the third base line looks pretty cool. But these different, they use a term for it, but these different sections are to themselves, and you can go and buy a ticket for like $300 or $400 all the way up to like $2,800, $3,000, and you get food and booze and there's rules associated with each one of these pavilions. Not that I can afford it, but I mean, it makes the experience at the ballpark so much more fucking cool. It's amazing. But I could afford going out to the Heinz 57 Club in that right field. Like they cut a hole in the wall, and they have a whole section dedicated. Like you can go in and wander in the restaurant, eat, and get up and down. You can go out and sit in the seats in that. They have designated seats. It's like a little cutaway away from the rest of the plebs, the people, the seats. But it's a cool place to watch the ball game. I'm trying to fix a time so I can go on like half price hot dog. What is that? Schneider's has $1 hot dogs. And they've got a counter on how many they sell. Things I look at the ballpark. But, you know, it's worth doing, especially for me, because I'm taking my daughter, obviously, and she's got special needs. So it's always a worry to try to keep her in a seat long enough. Like for a ball game, it's tedious. It can be tedious. And the last thing you want to do is piss off everybody around you. But I mean, that's not to be, I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about being stuck down in the seat and not having anywhere else to roam around and move. It's nice just to stand around and take in the ball game, leaning up against a fence sometimes. You can do that. Which is a big selling feature to me. Like you sell more tickets that way Who cares about having 55,000 seats? But if you've got on a busy day, downtown Toronto, and you've got like an open door policy, people can just roam in and take in whatever the excitement is at the ball game, and all of the concessions benefit from that. There's all kinds of things to do for the kids, of course. It looks exciting. Hot dog at the Dome is like $25. Not quite, Mr. Hemi. You can get a hot dog there for $1. $1, brother. Depends where you go. You could go to a Michelin rated fucking restaurant in there. If you wanted to spend the money. I got all horny for it because I've you see these seats behind behind where the batter's box is and everything, and you're like, fuck, I wonder how much those seats are worth. That's how it started for me. All the tickets are ever at. You won't even go to the movies anymore? I haven't been to a movie in a long time, darling. Are you? Oh, Stacia, it's fantastic. You could walk in there and walk out and not even spend $20. Well, you probably spend more on parking. But I'm talking for the experience. For the experience. Fuck. And the possibilities. You've got every way to bilk you out of everything you got when you go there anyway. It used to be very tourist trappy, but there's way too much to choose from anymore. Although you can just go and buy a ticket and watch the game in a seat if you want. If that's your thing. Hey, your son kicked over your $11 beer. I don't drink beer, so it's not a problem. But when I did drink beer, that was a fucking ridiculous price. That's twice the price of the nudie bars. At the time. It's probably more than that. Anyway, friends, don't get too sidetracked talking about the fucking Blue Jays. Expect to be disappointed. Who the fuck is signed to a $500 million contract? $500 million. Fucking has 6 home runs already. Already. Now this is in April. This Vlad is fucking bombing this year. What a big disappointment. They need a fluffer. They need to get Vlad a fluffer. Oh, you pimping crypto, Katie? Now's a good time to buy. Probably a good time to buy right now. People are pretty low. Who are you talking about, Mr. Hemi? Vlad? Oh, he's won my heart. I'm just disappointed. All right, we're talking about statement analysis. Is the systematic examination of the language, structure, content, and quality of written or spoken accounts from the suspects, witnesses, or victims. This to assess credibility, identify possible omissions or inconsistencies, and generate investigative leads. It is one tool within the broader field of deception detection in criminal investigations, citing some liedetectortest.com. It rests on the premise that accounts based on real experience differ in predictable ways from fabricated or distorted ones. The Undeutsch hypothesis for content-based methods. Truthful statements tend to draw from memory and are richer in certain details. Deceptive ones are often constructed through logic and may show distancing, vagueness, or structural anomalies. No single linguistic feature is diagnostic on its own. Patterns, context, individual baselines, and corroboration with physical and forensic evidence matter. We're talking about the core principles of statement analysis. Core principles of statement analysis. 4 factors. Prefer a free narrative or pure statement. Ask an open question such as, what happened? With minimal interruption. Leading or structured questions reduce the material available for analysis. Next, examine the full statement for structure. Prologue, incident, epilogue, balance. Parts of speech, content quality, omissions, and shifts. Next is deviations from expected norms of truthful language are treated as areas for further inquiry, not proof of lying. Next core principle is analysis. Is typically done before or to guide interviews so investigators can probe specific points.
You're cool. How you doing? I'm good, thank you. How are you? One way or the other, either say cat or dead. If it ain't right.
Okay, here we go.
How you doing? I'm good, thank you. How are you? Not too bad. You sound like you're in a bad mood. No, I'm just confused why everyone's calling me. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this Alvin? Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just calling you because I was looking over the case of Jack and Lily, and we did have a tip come in that you had seen the driver in the morning of 10:45. Okay. So the only thing, sir, that I was trying to clear up was that somebody had given us a tip. I'm just following up, trying to find out whether or not this tip is accurate, stating that you were on Lansdowne Road.
Mm-hmm.
At what time? The tip says between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m.
Okay, I'm gonna see. Buying himself time. Doesn't want to answer.
Okay, sir. Would you feel more comfortable calling into Crime Stoppers than leaving it there?
That's actually a very good way to lead the conversation. Would you feel more comfortable calling into Crime Stoppers? I like that. Because the question is, why didn't you call it in? Why wouldn't you call it in? So immediately, you know, I'm on the right side here. I'm on the side of the law. I want answers. And why, if you have something, we call Crime Stoppers. In other words, it's a nice way of saying, I think you're trying to hide something.
Well, I don't even.
See that account? Where's my mods? Hey, Katie. Delete that. Block that account that has Fred's don't nuke me for saying this. Nuke him.
I'd like to know who gave you the tip. That's what he says.
I know myself, sir. They come in anonymously online.
Whoever it is has me blocked.
I'm not, or I was not. I'm not? What does it mean?
I promise you, sir, I am not a reporter. No, I do not have shenanigans.
Oh, hold on. We have to start that again. I got my fucking thing is all screwed up here. I didn't see it was Bonnie Randall. Yeah, don't nuke that. Don't nuke that. Bonnie's fine. I thought it was an account that had me blocked and I'm seeing it on one screen and I'm not seeing it on the other and it's got me all messed up. Yeah, we won't nuke Bonnie. Oh, congratulations, girl. Oh, cyber hugs around. Sorry about that. We had a false alarm. No, it's just how, because I got 3 things to look at, and I'm looking at it come back on one. I'm going, how come I can't see that account? And of course, I can't see the name. I'm too far away. I'm across the room. But all right, we'll start that again. My apologies, friends. Of course, this is Mike Dammann analyzing the phone call that was made by a particular individual to Janie's brother, Alvin McKenzie, neighbor of the bus driver.
I think you're trying to hide something.
On Lansdowne Road.
Mm-hmm.
At what time? The tip says between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m.
Okay, I'm gonna see. Buying himself time. Doesn't want to answer.
Okay, sir, would you feel more comfortable calling into Crime Stoppers than leaving it there?
That's actually a very good way to lead the conversation. Would you feel more comfortable calling into Crime Stoppers? I like that. Because the question is, why didn't you call it in? Why wouldn't you call it in? So immediately, you know, I'm on the right side here. I'm on the side of the law. I want answers. And why, if you have something, we call Crime Stoppers. In other words, it's a nice way of saying, I think you're trying to hide something.
Well, I don't even
I'd like to know who gave you the tip. That's what he says.
know myself, sir. They come in anonymously online.
Is you a little bit more guarded on the telephone? This dude's an open book. She played him like a fiddle. I hate to give him so many Gonzo awards for this. But again, trying to overlook the fine details and effort to figure out what it is Alvin is trying to say in certain parts.
I'm not, or I was not. I'm not? What does it mean?
I promise you, sir, I am not a reporter. No,
So what if... How is it that old Alvin can't just get to why it is that he's confused? It's such a bizarre situation. Very trusting on the phone. But, I mean, it only appears that way because we don't know the reason. You better promise me. You better promise me you're not a reporter. Why? What would a reporter... Well, why does he say that? Why is he concerned immediately about this being a reporter? When the question should be, what is going to satisfy your curiosity, Alvin? What is it you're exactly confused about on the phone? You're the one that just picked up the receiver and you can't figure out why it is that you're confused? It's almost like you walked up to an NPC and put in a cheat code and the fucking thing is short-circuiting on you. And you think it's Satan talking through him. Well, That's just an exaggerated analogy, but because there's a reason why he's worried. Is he worried about causing more strife within the family? Because we see how violent Janie is getting. Maybe she's just aggro. And he's worried about that. More like he's worried about shaking the foundation of their little ring, their little crime conglomerate here. Meaning more than one. There's more than one person that he's worried about upsetting in my mind. You better swear that you're not a reporter. Why is he so worried? What's he confused about? Why is it he can't even put a finger on why he's confused in the moment? Like it would matter even if he vocalized it. But you can see how out of sorts he is already. He's already put on under the microscope. He's put on the spot, he feels. He doesn't question why. Some people are just like that, maybe. It's just a scapegoat. Well, some people are just like that, I guess. We're here trying to generate some leads, trying to ask some relevant questions. Not good enough. It's a lazy mind. He goes on about it if it's shenanigans, Mayflower. Well, maybe he's got experience being fucked with on the phone over this before, you know? Maybe it's just residual. Maybe it's some PTSD from the situation. Because he's got Darin and shenanigans coming by and fucking Darin playing him songs on his guitar. Wonder what songs he plays. All the crystal chandeliers.
I do not have shenanigans.
I'm not, or I was not. I'm not? What does it mean?
I promise you, sir, I am not a reporter. No, I do not have shenanigans.
Why do you guys think that Alvin McKenzie just randomly mentions that nasty horse-face beast? Is it because she's involved behind the scenes more than she leads on? She's related somehow to Darin Geddes, the Chomo? Why is he worried about it? Because the simple answer is probably Darin has already got to him and already coordinated with him. Already told him what he needs to say. Already told him what happened. Alvin doesn't seem like a very independent thinker, does he?
And were they an officer? Okay. Okay.
Okay, he's talking about Darin Geddes.
So Alvin McKenzie's talking about Horseface driving around with Darin everywhere, playing detective. That's fascinating. Oh, well, maybe she was just taken by his charm. Yeah, right. That's colluding.
Sir, I don't know. I honestly don't know what you mean by shenanigans.
He's avoiding the question.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now that there was no way I was up that road whatever time you called me.
I can't hear it.
I'm listening, sir. What time did you say?
He's asking again about the time.
I hear that it happened between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. There's no way I was up there. At 10:30 that morning, I seen you mounting down at my sister's place. I go up the road. I was up there for a few minutes. I come back down, and I went in there. Just checked with constellation. Constellation was there, and me and my brother-in-law stood there. And we were about to do it. That was in the wind place. Whatever. They left it.
He's telling us what he didn't do. When people don't tell us what they did, but rather what they didn't do, that is a sensitivity immediately. He says he was not in the woods. That shows me something happened in the woods. And that actually reminds me of Emily coming out of the woods. He's telling you right now, whatever happened, I wasn't the one who physically did what there is a problem with. This is very strong. He wants to remove responsibility from himself, telling us, I'm not the one who did it. I'm not the one who did the thing that, that you're probably interested in.
But there's no way. There's no blanket, no treaty at 10:30 in the morning. No, it wasn't.
Oh, interesting, right? He's saying there's no way it was at 10:30 in the morning. Yes, it was a little bit later. He's
yeah, 10:48.
telling us about the low end of the time spectrum, right? He's not talking about the time frame anymore. He's only telling you that 10:30 is too early. He is looking for anything that he can deny. And he's avoiding to answer about what happened before 11.
It wasn't a tree, or I'm sorry, it doesn't say here in the tip that it has to do with a blanket. It says that you were in a silver vehicle and you were pulled alongside with another vehicle.
Yeah. Long pause.
Okay. Would you be willing to swear to a statement? I said, would you be willing to swear to a statement? I swear to God, with God, I go right up to my brother-in-law. He told me, and another cop up back there, but I already gave my statement to him. Okay.
So hold on. You heard Alvin right here say that he was up at his brother Ron's, which is right there at 10:30. Let me pull up Google Earth again and pull that map up. I want to give you a visual of exactly where he's placing himself. He placed himself right there. Let me just pull this up. Say about 700 meters away on the road. Ron McKenzie. So at 10:30 a.m., it's funny to hear him deny when he's placing himself within 500-600 meters on the same road. It's not like, no, I was over here doing this or that. You were right there. So Ron McKenzie, Alvin, of course, lives up here on Montreal Road. He's saying at 10:30 a.m. he was down here at Ron McKenzie's. Well, 10:48 a.m. is when Brandon came forward and witnessed him and Emily running out of the bush. Alvin and Hayden and this mystery man, this tan man. Some people speculate it could be Cody number 2. Good to see you, Sweet Tea. So, I mean, in my mind, it's hard to... He's really verifying what's loosely being said, all while denying... I guess maybe he feels it dangerous to the narrative. He's just avoiding talking about, well, any specifics while giving away so much more. But it seems like he wants to talk. Kind of like Wayne. Like he seems filled with opinions.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, it doesn't say here in the tip that it has to do with a blanket. It says that you were in a silver vehicle and you were pulled alongside with another vehicle.
Yeah. Long pause.
Okay. Would you be willing to swear to a statement? I said, would you be willing to swear to a statement?
I swear to God, with God, I go right up to my brother-in-law. He told me, and another cop up out back there, but finally he went in the door.
Okay. Okay, well, I will just submit this tip then, as I've clarified with you, and if they have any further questions, I'm sure they'll just follow up.
Around 3:30 in the afternoon, that I seen a couple of vehicles on the side of the road. I stopped and asked, what was going on? And this black on Civic around 3:30 in the afternoon, and I had heading up in front of the road that afternoon, and
He's talking about anything but the time frame between 10:30 and 11.
I had to go up there, take the coolness off because look for the kids all that morning. Walk around the road there and had to go pick up the weight there at 5 o'clock.
Look for the kids all that morning. Yep, he's a good guy.
There's no way I was up there at 10:30 that morning.
Asshole, we're not talking about 10:30. We're talking about between 10:30 and 11.
What's wrong? How is it you can't hear it? Oh, Julia, you're talking about how hard it is to hear Alvin on the phone call? I'd recommend using earbuds if you can. It's definitely worth it. Or earphones for the specific call. I know it's annoying. But the volume level is okay. I can. Yeah, you can hear good, Sweet Tea. Good. Okay.
On Civic around 3:30 in the afternoon, and I had heading up in front of the road that afternoon, and
He's talking about anything but the time frame between 10:30 and 11.
I had to go up there, take the coolness about to run there and had to go pick up the weight there at 5 o'clock.
Look for the kids all that morning. Yep, he's a good guy.
There's no way I was up there at 10:30 that morning.
Asshole, we're not talking about 10:30. We're talking about between 10:30 and 11. Daniel does the same thing. They close in on the one thing that they think they can find, that they can deny in a reliable manner. But he is ignoring the question. He is trying to discredit her by saying 10:30 is too early. He focuses only on the 10:30 part. And she asked between 10:30 and 11. That, guys, is highly sensitive. If you ask somebody a question and they don't give you a direct answer, but rather focus on one particular thing that they're able to deny, in this case, it's absolutely ludicrous. But this is hillbilly gaslighting at its best, to say, well, it wasn't 10. Were you there between 10:30 and 11 a.m.? No, I wasn't there at 10:30. That's not the question. The question is, were you there between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m.? And he keeps repeating about 10:30 because that's something he is comfortable denying, because that's too early. He wasn't there that early. We understand. But what is he avoiding? Here we go.
Whoever told you that must have sent the order or somebody else. There's no way I thought.
Okay. Now you said something about a black Honda Civic.
Yeah, it was what the hell? It was Amelia's stepbrother.
Okay, I'm not sure. Is there a name?
Hayden, a black Honda Civic? What are you talking about now, a black Honda Civic? We have the wine-colored car and we have the silver Honda Civic. So he's now talking about Hayden. Okay, let's hear it.
Oh,
The girl.
did you?
Pause.
I am.
Please.
Please go ahead.
Alvin's wife has the silver Honda Civic, and the only person related that I know of, allegedly, has the black Honda Civic is Chance Lace.
Okay.
Like I said, I already gave him about his money for that day.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Before Christmas or after Christmas, he called me. It was before Christmas. I forget his name now. Dan from Halifax. I think his name was Dan. Halifax, he called me.
Okay.
But there's no way. I'm telling you, it's now, my God.
Okay.
We're giving you that information on his phone.
Okay.
You send the order, I'll make the press charges against her. It's equal.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear that, sir. My job is just to clear up the tips. That's all.
It was 7 months. So kids with stuff like he was all over the spring, what do you call it, Facebook. I want to be left alone.
What do you call it? Facebook. I just want to be left alone. I agree that you want to be left alone, but you were there for a reason. Who called you to be there? Who encouraged you to go there? Why did you go there? Why were you with them? Now you say, oh, I just want to be left alone. Well, the problem is the same with Janie. If you cover up evidence, you should have said before, I just want to be left alone. You should have said to the people who cover things up, or the people who want you to cover things up for them, you should have said early on, I want to be left alone. I want nothing to do with it. But the problem is these people get involved, and they gotten involved voluntarily. And then they say, well, I just want to be, it's a little bit late, right? To be left alone now.
Okay. I didn't even know it's from him. He'd be honest with you. First time late night, no kids be honest with you, man. It's the day I went down with my brother Mark and I went to search for him. That's the first time. The only reason why I didn't go down is my sister, because I don't like the role. My
What did he say? Did you hear that? Oh, God. Did he say my sister don't like? I don't know.
That's the first time. The only reason why I didn't go down is my sister, because I don't like the role.
You don't like.
They don't like Danny. Doesn't go down there and see the kids that often. The main reason he doesn't go down there is because, of course, Alvin doesn't like old Daniel, according to him.
Like my sister's son.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Like my sister's son. Got it. I didn't go down because I don't like my sister's son. Okay,
You
so he
have to
doesn't
understand. I have uncles who speak hillbilly gibberish. It comes important.
I'm not fluent in gibberish, man, and I'm learning. I'm learning gibberish, man. And okay, so Wayne doesn't like Daniel. He doesn't like Daniel. I think they all, yeah. So anyways, but Jack and Lily had to live with them. Let's hear it. And feel free to translate for me.
I never laid eyes on those kids in my life.
Okay, so he said, I never laid eyes on those kids in my life, okay?
May 2nd, first time I laid eyes on those kids. Bet you something.
Okay.
Did he say May 2nd was the first time he laid eyes on those kids? I mean, they would have been gone by then, right? I mean, what is he talking about? I'm gonna have to go back to.
He's Daniel's uncle, but he doesn't say I'm his uncle. He says, I don't like my sister's kid. So that's hillbilly gibberish for saying, I don't even want to say I'm related to him.
Okay.
Okay, well,
I swear to God, there's nobody on that road at 10:30 in the morning.
Asshole! Hillbilly gaslighter. We're not talking about 10:30. Brandon said something like 10:40 or 10:50, and she expanded it. By the way, I wouldn't have done that in the interview. When I interview people, I avoid at any cost to give them space to sidetrack me. So if somebody says 10:40 to 10:50, I will not say 10:30 to 11 because I know that I'm going to give them opportunity to find a way to wiggle their way into a very specific number that is the low end of the spectrum. So she made a big mistake, in my opinion, to spread it that far. And everybody's different. Some people who are more intelligent, they're not going to get hung up on the 10:30 part because they
We could look at it like she offered him an out and he took it. He chose to focus on that 10:30 to avoid the time frame.
understand that's only going to make them look guilty of something or like they're hiding something. But these dudes, they don't have the type of, shame or sensitivity. They don't have that. They're just like, well, it wasn't 10:30. I tell you that. Yeah, I said 10:30 to 11. Well, you said 10:30 and not 10:30. You have to, in order to understand where these people are coming from, sort of lower your level of thinking for a little bit, because that's all he got. All he got to argue is this particular number of 1030. That's the only thing that he can keep going back to. We're already done. And of course, we already know, yep, he was there. But it wasn't at 10:30. It was after that.
But I stopped talking. I don't know who the hell gave me back.
And he doesn't want to seem like he's running away, because Daniel's family, they think if you don't talk, you're guilty of something. So he doesn't want to say, I'm going to stop talking to you, because he's scared that it's going to make him look guilty from his point of view, from his perspective. So, but the whole time he's ready to end this conversation, because there are avoidances that he doesn't want the caller to come closer to. Can't trust nobody these days, especially your family, dude.
And to be honest with you, I wasn't born to be a liar.
I wasn't born to be a liar. Oh, Anita, where are you? This is very powerful. And listen to me, real quick, Anita. This is powerful. When somebody says to you, I wasn't born to be a liar, that's telling you that they became liars. Do you understand, everybody, why this particular...
Yeah, I mean, fantastic observation, but right. I wasn't born to be a liar. That's what's weighing on his mind. Yeah, you didn't want the conversation from the beginning. No shit, helicopter grandma. But there's pressure. You can tell that there's pressure there of some sort. Or whatever it is, isn't because of transparency over the situation with Jack and Lily Sullivan. Really goes back and validates Brendan's statement.
Statement indicates that he's lying right now, or that at least he's being deceptive, even if he's not directly lying. Janie also told me, you don't know us. You would like us if you knew. You don't, Janie doesn't like to lie either. And I do believe there is some sort of upbringing with it.
Oh my God. Janie, I'll never forget Janie crying to Mike about how she's got a heart of gold. It's so good. She's such a fucking theatric. She's a star in her own mind. A trail hiker that's very generous. Thank you, my friend. Man, it's such a bizarre thing to say. Well, you better promise to somebody that you don't know on the phone. Oh, you better promise that I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you. Oh, Jesus. It's like tempting to see how far you can go with this conversation. You don't want to give yourself away, I guess. Very playful narrative. Good crank call. Yet Alvin kept speaking even when the individual was going to end the call. Right, Anastasia? We got all worked up. Tells you he wants to speak, right? He wants to talk and express his true feelings about a situation. That's what I feel. That's what I gather. The heart don't lie, Sandra B says. That heart don't lie, especially in Roy Orbison songs. Or lyrics.
In the McKenzies. I'm not talking about Daniel, but Earl is probably a big time bullshitter too. But I'm telling you, there is a certain code of honor among Janie and her brothers. And they probably had a dad who was very strict about not telling any lies. What he's telling you is, I don't really want to lie. I don't feel good about lying. I'm not a natural born liar. That's
Thank you,
telling
Julia. I
us
appreciate
right now he is, in fact, lying. The same way when Jordan told me, Daniel saved my life one time. That's telling us I didn't want to do what I did, but I owe him.
That's one thing. It was not born to be a liar. Like,
He says it again.
if you read now, I seen the first Mountie come up now. You was in a room there. It's the first Mountie. I don't know who it was. I seen I pulled them out, two Mounties. The two Mounties' cars were behind me. I Alvin McKenzie there. I pulled over, pulled them right out. Right up to my brother's lawns there. I never stopped talking to nobody.
So his brother would be Wayne then, right?
All right, my brother Ron, I asked what was going on with my sister. Now my sister's his wife. There's 3 Mountie cars down there. So Ron was going to take my mother to town that morning. He said,
Okay, Ron was going to take my mother to town. My mother? Oh, he said, wait a minute.
"Do you mind, Mom, if I go down see what's going on?" Me and Ron, I took the great car down. My wife's on the Civic, and Ron took his truck down. And we
Like Anita said, that's his wife's car. Ron took his truck down and went.
down there and we found that the kids were missing. So we were about
Well, that's an interesting little part there, how Alvin tells it like they went down and visited as opposed to calling ahead of time. Because Janie tells it like she got the call and said, "No, I'm not going to go to town, Ron." And then Ron calls back afterwards. Remember, there's 2 calls to her brother Ron. And she wants us to believe that it was her telling him that she wasn't going. Maybe both could happen. But according to Alvin, how would he know? Maybe he knew. But it sounds different. It rings a little bit different. Like it seems to, the way Alvin's telling it, that Ron was there at the Gairloch Road residence. And then he found out about the kids going missing because he arrived there. That sequence of events is different, how it was portrayed. Because, of course, Janie doesn't talk anyway about Ron being there or showing up at all.
the woods because God's police wouldn't let us in the woods.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate your time.
They would say, "What's
I'm sorry?
Huh?
Hello?
Say your name, what's it?"
Hello?
Yeah, would you say your name?
Interesting, right? He says, say your name. And she says, hello, hello.
Well, you're breaking
What
up there,
does that
Alvin.
tell you?
It's that he just got roasted in the old trust battle. Alvin was the one that was the one who gave his trust. And when he asked for it to be reciprocal in that sense, what's your name again? After he was divulging all kinds of information. That's a great time to bail out of the conversation. Fantastic. What? Blah, 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 blah. You're a little choppy there, bro. I can't hear you, Alvin. Susie Mack, I appreciate that, darling. Make sure you guys go over and join Mike's membership section, please.
I don't think she was breaking up at all. She didn't want to say her name. You hear that, people? Analyze everything, and the picture comes clear.
That's pretty safe.
So,
that's safe. What name would you have given Alvin? Oh, this is Shannon Hoyt Ramsey. Corey Trevor. Mr. Leahy. Oh, yes, Alvin. My name is Jim Leahy. It's crazy how they all band together to protect the criminals, but nobody would lift a finger to help the two helpless children in that sense. Maybe because they and MBM were outsiders. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, they were discriminated against in that sense. All of these dreams that Danny was promising Malaya weren't coming true. In fact, Malaya's probably being exploited without actually knowing what that is. Possibly, of course. But a great point, River Rat.
That was actually pretty damn interesting, Anita. I actually, how did he get involved? I haven't heard everything. I haven't been able to.
So really, loosely confirms everything Brendan saw on that road. He places himself right there. But of course, he's stuck on 10:30 when, in fact, we're stuck on the exact time frame that was quoted. He's not talking about a time frame. He's talking around confirming whether the tip has validity to it. But as you just experienced. So the question is, what was Alvin doing out there while Emily Oakley was running out of the bush? In a car with Hayden and a mystery tan man. Good to see you, SR. But it would indicate that there's collusion on all sides, both sides of the family, Malaya's and Daniel's. And that freak, that fruitcake, that booze nose, porn, pedo stash, Darin Geddes is related to them all. He's related to everybody. Because, of course, he's got the highest quotient of being inbred over everybody else. That I have no doubt. I love the fact in this statement that Alvin brings up Darin and Horseface. My God, that's so funny. The possibilities are endless. My imagination is just spinning. With all of this shit, with all of the trash talk. Knew it. Does anyone else think there must have been some pit party, something out there? Maybe it wasn't at Daniel's. I don't know. Not necessarily, Michelle. I mean, you don't have to go much out of the trailer to really party. And what does party mean to you? You think they're all sitting around playing fucking Yahtzee? No, it's a trap house. The drug use, abuse, and criminal activities is what bonds them together. They skip the formalities in that sense. They skip the monopoly and go straight to the fucking meth. This party is a bore. This party is a bore. Let's have some fun. Oh, who's got the 8 balls? Is DG still selling the toolbox? What a creep. I don't even know. Helicopter Grandma. That dude's a flashlight.
To make out everything that he said. But did he say that he kind of accidentally, he went to see his brother? And well, I wasn't born to lie. I wasn't born to be a liar, people. That's telling you, don't judge me by what I'm doing right now. What was it Janie said one time? I forgot, guys. Janie said something very similar one time. But you see,
I have no doubt in my mind that why Janie is so, we'll call, violent. She's violently defending this false narrative story, and any sort of deviation from it evokes such emotion. She goes ape shit. She wants to throw down and throw hands with whoever's there. Just melts right down. That's a pattern with Janie. And it was since the very first day. You think for a person who shouldn't have any idea of what happened to them, be so protective over a story that holds absolutely no information. Your behavior would suggest that you don't feel that there's any reason to include any possibilities of what could have happened to Jack and Lily, considering that you need everybody to believe that you don't know what's happened.
what they don't seem to realize is we are not here to judge your examine specific actions. You may judge your own character because you don't feel good about what you're doing right now. Should I listen again? I kind of want to, Anita. Is there anything that maybe we can pick up on? Let's see.
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad.
You sound like you're in a bad mood.
Yeah, and this tactic is something that creeps me out, to be honest with you.
Right away. If Alvin was in touch with reality, he would know somebody was fucking with him. He should know. But he doesn't, which tells the caller how feeble-minded he is right away.
Sound like you're in a bad mood. So she kind of wants to put him on a defensive. That wouldn't be the way that I conduct interviews, guys. Well, it depends, but whatever works for you works for you. You know what I mean? But of course, that's, to loosen him up a little bit. And it doesn't necessarily mean he's in a bad mood, but he's defensive when he answers the phone because he knows, what's been going on and what people are saying, more or less.
No, I'm just confused by who's calling me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this Alvin?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just calling you because I was looking over the case of Jack and Lily, and we did have a tip come in that you had seen the driver in the morning of 10:45.
Long pause.
Okay.
So the only thing, sir, that I was trying to clear up was somebody had given us a tip. I'm just following up, trying to find.
See, maybe it seems like to him he's listening to another conversation or a session from Shannon and Darin. That's why it's on his mind.
Know whether or not this tip is accurate. State that you were on Lansdowne Road.
At what time?
The tip says between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m.
Okay, I'm going to see.
He's thinking for a long time. And now he's thinking, oh, Hillbilly Gaslighting.
She says between 10:30 and 11 a.m., but Alvin wants to focus on specifically the 10:30 time slot. Would suggest that he wants, it's easier to negate whatever that is if you go back far enough and place yourself at a different place and say, no, I was over here, from experiential memory, as opposed to what you want to avoid, and is that, 10:48 to 11 a.m. and the time afterwards. He's skipping the most crucial point to the information we're corroborating in our minds. But it's not like it's a mistake. It's just interesting. I'm just bringing it up. Like, I wouldn't even consider this to be an interview, considering it's I'd slot it in as a gonzo prank call, in a sense that has more value on the street than it does really to the investigation, even though it has value to the investigation, no matter what, like it or not. But I wouldn't classify it as a formal interview by any means. It's interesting to see his reaction to all of that. And what does he bring up? He brings up that fruitcake Darin and his junior detective.
Gaslighting. I'm just going to focus on the 10:30 part, not the rest. She's going to forget about the rest.
Okay.
You can interpret it as an interview. I'm not calling it a scam call. I'm just calling it a prank call, but it doesn't make what he says any less valuable in that sense. We're not looking for purity in statement analysis in order to guide us. We just want to hear what the guy has to say, because it's amazing that he still stays on the phone and shares all of this information, seemingly unwittingly and off the top of his mind. Like, there's some validity to what it is that he wants to say, and mainly has to focus on how much of a douchebag you are, Daniel.
Sir, would you feel more comfortable calling into Crime Stoppers than leaving it there?
And I loved how Trail Hiker the last time said that in my chat too. You know, because when you get a bunch of gossip from people and so on, hey, call Crime Stoppers. You know, I don't have time.
Well, I don't even know myself, sir. They come in anonymously online.
And you indicate also, if you think you have important information,
Thank you,
why didn't you call
I
it?
appreciate it, girl.
Let's talk about it now. Now, in my case, regardless of what my intentions are, I would say, who are you? Who are you with? But you see, he's already put on the spot. You're in a bad mood. Here is the tip. And it can be effective to some degree. It can be effective to the degree where the downside is that he's immediately defensive. But this person, obviously the caller, she doesn't want to reveal her identity at all. And coming from this channel, I mean, I have a good idea who's behind it. But, you know, that would flow a lot better when, you know, at the end, I don't believe she was disconnected or anything when she said, hello, hello. You know, she didn't want to answer his question now. She's avoiding to tell who she's with, who she is, and so on. And that's also part of her strategy, and that hinders her. It would be easy to say, hi, I'm so-and-so. Hi, I'm Mike Dammann, and I'm a statement analyst. Here's my YouTube channel, and I have a couple of questions. Or I would just immediately ask the questions, you know.
Thank you very much, Sweet Tea.
Flow in, flow out,
that's very
get
generous
right
of you
back in
guys.
there. But, you know, interviewing is a real art form, having a good interview. And I'm not criticizing. I'm happy that she did this, but it could have, you know, I'm pointing out, if you are ever in a situation where you interview somebody and ask questions, I'm going to give you some idea. You know, I point out both the good and the bad, what you can learn from, and what, you know, of course, if you hide your own identity, your own language becomes deceptive to a degree and can hinder the flow of information.
I promise you, sir, I am a reporter. No, I do not have shenanigans.
Okay, so they know about shenanigans.
The other thing, I'm putting on the phone with someone that wants to know the things like
So Mike's talking about investigative techniques or interview techniques. There's something called cognitive load interview. It's a method. Cognitive load interview methods are a family of techniques designed to improve deception detection by making the interview more mentally demanding. It sounds like Alvin was under a lot of cognitive load throughout all of this. The core idea is that lying is typically more cognitively taxing than telling the truth. Liars must suppress the truth, invent or maintain a story, monitor consistency, and manage their impression. Truth tellers primarily retrieve and report real memories. Adding extra cognitive demands could therefore impair liars more than truth tellers, making differences in their responses more detectable. This approach was developed and extensively tested by researchers, including Albert Vierge and colleagues. It belongs to the broader shift towards cognitive lie detection, or interviewing to detect deception, which actively elicits and amplifies cues rather than passively observing behavior. The theoretical foundation is lying generally consumes more working memory resources than truth-telling. When an interviewer imposes additional load, truth tellers still have spare capacity to handle the demand, while liars, already operating closer to the capacity, show the signs of difficulty. Observable effects can include reduced detail or fewer spontaneous elaborations, more speech errors, pauses, or inconsistencies, poorer performance on unexpected or complex tasks, greater difficulty maintaining a coherent narrative under pressure. Holy fuck. Difficulty maintaining a coherent narrative under pressure, Janie. That's got you written all over it. There's 5 primary techniques. Reverse order recall, unanticipated questions is number 2. 3, model statement. 4, secondary dual tasks. 5, encouraging more information, related cognitive methods. These are 5 primary techniques in cognitive load interview method. So, these interviewing techniques, the reverse order recall, interviewees are asked to recount events from the end backwards to the beginning. This disrupts the natural forward chronological schema people use to organize experiences. Truth tellers can still draw on actual memory and reorder it. Liars must reconstruct a fabricated sequence in an unnatural direction, increasing errors, omissions, and inconsistency. Early studies showed clearer verbal cues under reverse order instructions. It's almost how Alvin is getting out of this, focusing on the 1030. Though later work has produced more mixed results on real-world utility. Second primary technique, unanticipated questions. Interviewers ask questions the person is unlikely to have prepared for in advance. Kind of what's happening here. Especially spatial details, unexpected perspectives, or temporal relations that are not central to a rehearsed story. Examples. Where exactly was the nearest exit relative to where you were standing? Or describe the scene as if you were looking from the opposite side of the room. No, not happening here. Truth tellers can answer from experience. Liars often struggle or produce less consistent answers.
Yeah,
More than an officer?
I don't know what I just looked at it. Something like me was 17, and I walked them. I just want all of them to be at all.
Okay.
I just walked it. You want information? It's like Darin Geddes.
Okay.
Darin Geddes, my name or something. You know, one of those tag boys, he's all over the shenanigans everywhere. Right? He thinks he's just a detective.
Guys, on AB's channel, it's the same, right? It's not hard, not easy to understand. So, but let's see what we can pick up on. Anita, can you look at comments for just 1 minute, and I'll be right back in a second, because I want to make sure. Maybe her connection is not that great right now. So the conclusion of this call is, yeah, he was there. It was after 10:30.
She made
Definitely
a mistake.
after 10.
I wouldn't
Yeah?
have said the time. And
Yeah,
it sounds like somebody familiar.
yeah,
And
I agree.
she's walking a fine line of breaking the law.
I agree. I do agree. And again, yeah, the you see, you gotta be sensitive to language.
I don't
I'll be
like
back
the
in 1
way
minute.
that she's pretending that a tip was called in, like she's the police. You have to be very careful doing that. That's not right.
Yeah, River, Alvin probably only remembered Janie said something about 10:30 and nothing else. His brain sounds overloaded. Right. Like there is something he has on his mind. Well, what was he doing out there with Hayden and everybody else? And it's so interesting how his name came up in that as well. He brought up.
Well, the person on the phone is pretending a fine line of a tip was called in, like they're the police.
And you see, guys, if you have deceptive language yourself, it's not you know what? Rather than being deceptive, it's okay to withhold information here and there. But the moment that you interview somebody and you yourself are deceptive, information, the best thing is to simply say, hey, were you there in that morning, during that morning, and what happened? One of the best questions is, what happened? Peter Hyde always talked about it. My favorite question is, what do you know? What do you know about what happened in that morning? Because then he can tell you he doesn't know anything. When you say what happened, you automatically assume, and the person, I think that my favorite question is, what do you know? Because then they can say reliably, they can tell you, I know this, I know that. They can focus on the little things that they know and show me they're trying to help.
Mike, in some of the comments, it says it's Christy Travers, but I don't believe that. I know Daylene's voice. Excuse me, and it sounds like Daylene.
I only talked to Chrissy maybe like for, I don't know, 10 seconds, like 6 months. I don't know really what her voice sounds like. Oh, but she left me a message, but a voice message when we talked about, you know, Daylene and Jordan's threatening call. So
It lends so much credibility to Brendan's statement. Right down to the unprovoked or unelicited responses where he brings in Darin Geddes and Horseface and Hayden and the colors of the cars.
I don't think I heard. I gotta revisit it. I guess she actually. I don't remember. Did she leave me a voice message? No, I don't think so. Well, if it's one of them, then, they're of course on the same team. But there was a tip. She makes it sound like there's an official tip to law enforcement, and that she has it, and that she's privy to the information, which she wouldn't be, right? So it is misleading.
It was guarded, but just enough to get the sort of trust that person on the phone needed. Whatever, Alvin showed how much he was comfortable with. He had no problem opening up and talking. That's eventually going to hurt them in the long run. But yeah, you're right. I forget who said that up there, that it does sound like he was prepared for being questioned if it should come up at a later date, right? Yeah, he places himself right there, but no, he was at Ron's house, which was just right there. Next house on the right. Yeah, he was ready. Rochelle, you heard it? As incoherent as he was.
You see where I'm getting at with this, guys?
Sir, I don't know. I honestly don't know what you mean by shenanigans.
It's better not like all because well,
And again, I would have said, I'm not connected to shenanigans. Of course, she knows who that is.
I'm not telling you right now that yeah. There was no way I was up that road whatever time you told me. Hello?
I must say.
Listen to what he just said. There was no way I was up that road at whatever it is, whatever the time it was that you told me. But then you go on to say that, yeah, you were on that road and you're at your brother Ron's at 10:30. Alvin. So you just completely contradicted what you led off with. You led off with utter denial. I wasn't on that road at whatever time it was that you asked me, but you just go on to say that you were, because Ron lives on that road that you're denying being on. Alvin. What a fucking guy. With Alvin going on about Shannon, it gets you curious if she was bugging him already. Oh, absolutely. They're already talking about it behind the scenes in their inner circle. The McKenzies, the McKenzie boys are talking about it, probably with the Geddes cousins. Oh boy, that Darin Geddes has got a hop in his step. He's a real detective. Traveling around, doing all kinds of weird things that are weird even to the McKenzies. Well, holy shit. Weird to the McKenzies. They're thinking it's odd behavior. Holy mackerel. He's got himself this new little hussy. This Shannon, who's a real piece of work.
Thanks, sir.
What time did you say?
I have here that it happened between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m.
You see where I'm getting at with this, guys?
Well, let me say it this way. There's no way that I was on that road at whatever time it was that you told me. Doesn't tell you that he's just shutting right down to any sort of questions in that, but he's he's got no problem relying on what doesn't make sense. Like the statement doesn't make sense because really, you don't even know what time they're talking about. You're just utterly denying it. Which, is something else that runs in the family. They're influencing one another. Why wouldn't they? They're all related. They all live right there beside one another. Nini, good to see you. Absolutely, Nini. September 3rd is Fruitcake Danny's next court date for his SA charge and his assault charge and his forcible confinement, and one step further into getting to know all of the details and the evidence in this particular case so that we can discuss it here in front of you all. It's absolutely going to be relevant to the Jack and Lily Sullivan case because it gives you an even better picture of the environment and the types of degens that Danny and his crew really are. Day by day, ever so closer to figuring out how intertwined and connected and bonded by child exploitation, every nasty fucking possible thing that you can imagine is wrapped up here and put in their pockets. And we're discovering it because guess what, everybody? The evidence has to come from the public at some point, whether it's straight to the cops or not. We're here to talk about it. Right, Janie? It's not something for the cops to go and sniff out and figure out. They need people talking about it. They need people openly discussing about what really happened. It elicits all kinds of different responses, even if it is only from the suspects. The RCMP are reliant on what the public is saying, where their minds are.
Sir, I don't know. I honestly don't know what you mean by shenanigans.
Horseface.
And again, I would have said, I'm not connected to shenanigans. Of course, she knows who that is.
I'm going to tell you right now that yeah, there was no way I was up that road whatever time you told me. Hello?
I'm listening, sir.
What time did you say?
I have here that it happened between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m.
So now, this is the problem, Anita, as you stated, as you pointed out. When he asked, he knows what time she said.
The fact that he's skipped over it twice already is a pattern within this conversation about him skipping over the 11 a.m. part of it, the entirety of that time frame. He's gone from utterly denying even being on the road to telling you that he was at his brother Ron's at that 10:30 time frame, which is 400 to 600 meters away as the crow flies down the same road that he just denied being on. Yeah, something's up with him. He's hiding something, Janie. What would you say?
And he also knows that the exact time frame is not that important. What he also knows is that the time that she stated, around 10:45, was around the time that we're interested in. But what he now is asking for is a little more space. He is not trying to tell, he wants to avoid talking about what happened around that time. So he tries to get into the specifics to find a way to wiggle his way out, to practice more avoidance, attacking the messenger. He's trying to find something where he can say, look, you're not telling the truth right now, so I don't need to answer the rest. And she makes a huge mistake right here, that she bites the bait. I would have said around 10:45, like I said. Why? What time were you?
Yeah, they never actually quote the actual tip. It's not really stated. Just didn't really have to go there. Alvin was more than willing to talk all about whatever was bothering him. I think that's funny. I think that's good on him. We want more of that. Well, can we call you next time and not have to prank you? Alvin.
There. That's what
Would have
I
said, any time in the morning were you there?
That would be still better. Because now...
No matter what it's a hell of a spot because of where he lives. In order to get anywhere around there, he's got to go right by where it is he was sighted on Lansdowne Road. At some point, you're going to be there. Do you understand what we're saying? At some point, you will probably pass that spot 4, 5, 6 different fucking times in one day. Going to your brother Ron's or your brother Wayne's or Harvey or Janie's house, or getting out on the highway, because it's your closest route to get out on the road, unless you go to the other side right up Montreal Road. If you're going to go to Truro, you would probably take that route. Like it's not out of the realm of possibilities, and he's wanting to dismiss it off the bat without even hearing it. Maybe that's what he practiced in his mind. Getting him to say, well, what time of the day did you actually pass? You could even measure it and say, well, when was the next time that you passed Ron's house? We'll say Ron because, they're just outside Ron's house on the road. You don't have to refer it to the tip. You can refer it to just being by Ron's house. And we know that the place in question is 400, 500 meters that way on the road. Generating all kinds of fantastic leads, because there's no question that these two fucking buffoons are working together in the background. They're participating in the exploitation, the continued exploitation of Jack and Lily, the suspects, the same motherfuckers that took their lives.
If this is Daylene, this is a very amateur mistake that she makes. Extremely amateur. Because now she gives him the opportunity. You see, here's the problem. The problem is that with this, you see, it's similar to when you put somebody on the defensive, like this, if they say, hey, I think you did it. I think, then the person has a right to be defensive. What you need to ask him is, what do you know? Or what happened? And then when they become defensive, you didn't introduce any type of offensive language that needs to be defended. But by doing this, she's giving him an out. And that's wasting a lot of time. And in my opinion, had she not done that, he would have been able, he would have to be the one that finds his way out of there, practicing more avoidance and likely leaking information by doing so. I'm telling you, interviewing is an art form, and you're never done. You can always get better at it. And this is a really this is a definite do not do. Let's hear it. I don't hear that. You see, immediately he says, oh, I got her now. It wasn't at 10:30. Yeah. Big mistake.
I see you mounting down at my sister's place. I go up the moment.
Do you understand any of this crap, Anita? I don't.
Yes.
I cannot do that. Okay,
it's
good.
better on AB.
Oh, shit. Why didn't you say so? Let's go to AB. Okay, that's Wayne. I'm going to play Wayne later. Okay, let's go right back to A balance. And thank you for sending this to me. I assumed the original would be clearer, but let's hear it.
Wait, is this Alvin?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just calling you because I was looking over the case of Jack and Lily, and we did have a tip come in that you had seen the driver.
Who is we? Did have a tip come in? Did she have a tip come in? Right, she says we. Yeah, that's kind of like suggesting I'm law enforcement.
Jesus, man. Can't anybody get some appreciation for a prank call around here? It doesn't have to be so analytical, bro. It's just it's a fishing adventure. It's a social experiment. It's a prankster's phone call to see where it goes. But Mike's right. But he's not, it's not a legitimate interview in that sense. But think about, there's a little, gemstone. There's a little cache of information within it nonetheless. And it's valuable. Dastardly gals, up to no good. Oh dear. We have to get the information somehow. Dirty tricks. Oh.
And that's walking a very fine line, people.
In the morning of 10:45. So the only thing, sir, that I was trying to clear up was that somebody had given.
I love that. That response is epic. Okay. Don't give it away or anything. You couldn't script it better in Hollywood. Oh, okay. Mr. Inquisitive. It's like a cartoon. Oh, who would this be on my phone?
Given us a tip. I'm just following up, trying to find out whether or not this tip is accurate, stating that you were on Lansdowne Road.
At what time?
The tip says between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m.
First thing in your mind should be, why the fuck would a cop be trying to validate a tip through me, aka Joe Public? That would stand out to me right away. It's like someone's fucking with me, but I'm not holding it against Alvin because I appreciate his information nonetheless, no matter what it is. We encourage a lot more of it. Maybe he's got like one hand under the hood of his car and he's all stuck in a position and he's talking on the phone. I don't think so. Like, I mean, it's hard to ignore how easily he dived into such a conversation like this. If you're so guarded, obviously you're guarded against something. What is it you're guarded against and why are you protecting it? Right? But he's got no problem jumping right in to deny it right away. It's such bizarre behavior. Something's fucking up here with this guy. Man, oh man, oh man. And it has everything to do with the information that people are so thirsty for, hungry for in this case. The truth.
Or is that 10:45?
Right there, what it said. It doesn't matter what time. Were you on that road?
Exactly. She bit the bait. Like now he's scared. He turns it around, and he is gaslighting her. He's tricking her into making a commitment about a specific time.
And it's
So you-
Daleen with a voice thing. I'm positive it's Daleen.
I don't know if you're an investigator or not, to be honest with you. So he's already telling you he's giving away the farm here. He'd be a horrible poker player. Too much talking in the wrong ways. I don't know if that's the presumption. He's trying to get that out of her to talk more about it. He's being slick, just like Janie thinks that she's slick. Maybe that works between the family members. Probably happens all the time. It's probably nonstop fucking with each other. Such a dramatic bunch. Maybe they've got some skeletons in the closet. It seems plausible at this point, considering the more that we get to find out about the lot. But the one thing that's consistent with them all is this ability and ease to protect the truth from anything from getting out. There's an air of secrecy amongst them. Something that they're protecting. Something that is bigger than just any one person in this. But none of them have got a problem telling you how much of a fucking idiot Daniel is. My God. Wow. Corbin saying Malaya knows what happened to Lily and Jack, and she's responsible, as she should be, charged with neglect, and the precious kids never had a chance to grow up and have a good life. That's just one of the true things you feel that you know now. Imagine what it is that you get to know about the situation. The audacity of these fucking assholes, considering what it is and how it is that these kids were neglected, that they want to go out and virtue signal and put up all of these memorials around the poor kids' school to remind all of the other kids about what it is that happened to Jack and Lily. And put a positive spin on child murder, and that's a good thing in their circle. Well, I'm sure it goes over great with everybody that's trying to fucking pull something off here. But it's so out of sync over what's moral in this situation. The priority should have always been is finding out where Jack and Lily are and to get them back as soon as possible. It's never been their priority. Their innocence has taken that slot. And they're happy to tell the public that whatever it is that happened to Jack and Lily, whatever it is, certainly isn't their fucking problem. All while telling you that Malaya and brainwashing into believing that she's the one with all of the answers. Well, I've got no doubt she knows exactly what happened. But as we're figuring the complexities in this out, she's choosing silence as her primary weapon, if you could call it that. She had no problem getting the fuck out of Dodge at that point in time. What a bizarre situation. There's no cop in the world that wouldn't think that that was suspicious. Something else is going on other than what it is that they're telling us. And it's not like they have information that they gave the cops that they're not sharing. The information doesn't exist and they don't think it's relevant to the situation at hand. Talk about really wanting to cover your bases. That's the easiest way to get ruled out in all of this, kids. Not just people having to trust your word for it. You don't even think a fucking timeline is important. That's a bit of a problem, kids. Your priorities have always been what people are speculating about online. Oh, they're making you feel all kinds of ways. That's what gives you away. Just another factor.
But
Okay, sir, would you feel more comfortable calling into Crime Stoppers than leaving it there? Well, I don't even know myself, sir. They come in anonymously online.
yeah, He says, I want to know who left the tip.
Stacia in Cleveland says, A-Balance, actually the names of Jack and Lily on the bench donated to the school have a plaque over it. It says Buddy Bench. The school told the donors the same thing you said, AB. Yeah, it's not appropriate. Holy fuck. Get the fuck out of here. And this is a little preemptive for all of that. It's like a black rose.
I promise you, sorry, I'm not a reporter. No, I do not have shenanigans.
The other thing, I'm playing on the phone with someone that
And imagine, it's organized by all the people who are exploiting Jack and Lily beforehand. All the people who linguistically give away their propensities for underage they're addicted. What do they call it now? You're attracted to minors, attracted to underage children. Not that there's an of age children, but you're attracted to children. All of these fools organizing this weird, bizarre, ritualistic celebration of Jack and Lily, considering overlooking what it is that was blatantly obvious to the school. Who were sending home food and groceries because word on the street was you were starving them. Everybody's talking about it. All the brothers are talking about it. Willfully. And here you want to fucking celebrate it. That's the weirdest fucking thing. That's like what predators would do. Sexual predators. People who were getting a thorough enjoyment out of what was going on because they feel that they're that much more further of getting away with their crime and want to bring closure to this case, this situation.
And were they an officer? Okay.
Who's he talking about? Do you know? Is he referring to Brandon? I don't know.
Okay.
He says Darin Geddes. Who was my neighbor? Darin Geddes, Austin? I don't know. Darin Geddes with a D, yeah.
Sir, I don't know. I honestly don't know what you...
Did you catch what he said about Darin Geddes?
He said he's telling people
Oh,
on
okay.
shenanigans.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm going to keep going.
What do you mean by shenanigans?
I'm not telling you right now, but yeah. There was no way I was not that I wrote it when I was talking to the
There it is right there. There's no way I was up that road at whatever time you just told me. Well, he's going in a little guarded. How many times has she it's hard to tell now because we've re-listened to it twice. But I'm sure that she's already mentioned the time frames and already mentioned or alluded to the tip. And he didn't even think it significant enough to remember enough in order to give a reliable denial. I don't think you can get any more of an unreliable denial. Almost, it's no, I wouldn't push it. I won't push it to an admission. But shit, that's funny. Cracks me up a little bit. Yeah. Okay, he's just in utter denial, knowing full well that the guy crosses that point in the day anytime that he drives out of his driveway. More times than not. Like, it's a place where you cross all of the time. How many times? He's not even open to conversing about that. I don't know why you would be in the first place with some random stranger that just called you. Fuck, you better promise me. Okay, you sound official. Thank God she wasn't guarding like nuclear codes. Holy shit. Alvin, didn't we tell you to shut your mouth? Didn't we tell you to shut the fuck up? God damn it, man. You're going to bury them. But don't stop. We love it. It's hard not to love somebody who talks like this. He's just itching to tell us all of these other things that are weighing down his cognitive load. I love it. Alvin, come on, man. Be a hero in this. You and Wayne bond together and bring it out. Any lie. You don't have to figure things out. You just have to come out and tell the RCMP why it is and all the reasons why you dislike Danny. Most recently, what it is that he's doing and has done to Jack and Lily. Give him the full skinny. Stop fucking listening to Janie. A person who's innocent doesn't have to worry about all of or any speculation. People don't speculate unless they have a reason to. You give people every reason to speculate till the cows come home, and they haven't come home yet.
I'm listening, sir.
What time did you say?
Okay, again, Hillbilly Gaslighting. He's asking for the second time. She said in the beginning around 10:45. Now he got the upper hand with his little strategy.
I have here that it happened between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m.
Okay. C-U-L-O. There's no way outside there.
Tells me that he's just as protective as Janie is in the same sort of way about whatever it is that they think they already told police, and anything anybody brings up is just out of bounds no matter, without even listening to it. He obviously isn't computing here. It isn't computing for Alvin. The more he talks, the more he validates it. And he says that he was there on that road at that time at 10:30. So where were you at 11? What happened in between? Let's fill in the blanks. I swear to God. I swear to God. That's a sworn statement. Love it.
Are you guys okay in chat? I have to do this. This is what I do. This is what I love to do. This is so obvious. If I ask you, were you there between 10:30 and 11? Are you okay, Anita, or are you getting bored? I have to do this. This is really
I'm okay,
good.
But I would say, well, I don't know what time you were there. You know what time you were there. What time were you there?
You would have done a great interview there. You would have gotten a lot of answers. But this is not, again, I'm happy that oh my God, I'm not going to comment right now on that part. But he is when somebody says there is no way I was up, first of all, there's no way. You can say I wasn't there that morning. But he has to add 10:30.
Nini, no, Malaya doesn't have custody of the baby at all. Meadow is not in their custody. We don't know anything about it, so be careful.
10:30. That's not the question. The question was between 10:30 and 11. He was there. This is ironclad, as Darin would say. Ironclad. Ironclad. He's telling you the truth. And it's easier. He was brought up not to lie. And it's not easy for him to lie. For Daniel, Jordan, Chance, lying is second nature. They enjoy it. Their whole life evolves around bullshit. But I do believe Janie and her brothers were brought up not to lie, and probably were punished when they lied. So now he feels confident because he can say, oh, okay, I'm going to deny something where I don't technically lie, because 10:30 was too early. I wasn't there at 10:30, and he knows that for a fact. Yeah, I believe you. I believe you were up there after that. But that's not what's important here.
I think around down at my sister's place. I go up the moment. I go to a few minutes, I come back down, and I went in there, just checked the confirmation. Confirmation was there, and my brother Ron stood there, and we were about to do it, out in the woods way. Whatever.
That was not the question. I was up in the woods, right, where I was at 11. So he talks about talking to an officer. That he's talking about talking to an officer because he wants to give you the false impression that he didn't do anything wrong and he wasn't a part of anybody doing anything wrong. I was talking to the police. Well, what else were you doing? You see, there's a reason he is now speaking about talking to the police.
It's amazing how so quickly he was up talking to the police and already involved in what was going on.
Because he wants to give you the impression that everything he's doing is legit. I was with police. No. Now you're skipping to 11. That's the problem. First, you get hung up on the low end, 10:30. You were not there. But now at 11, we're talking about 10:40 to 10:50. That's what Mr. Brandon stated. And so, again, it's now this is a waste of, this is too much time. 80% of this interview is being wasted. Let's go.
Now later, but there's no way. There's no blanket, no tree unless 10:30 in the morning.
I had no blanket, no tree at all at 10. This I don't understand this hillbilly kind of
That's important right there, because he's already telling us without it even being prompted by the caller. The caller never brought up the pink blanket or the t-shirt in the tree at all. He's already aware of the allegation, right? He's already aware of what it is. So he's given away that he really already knows what it is that the caller is trying to confirm on the phone at this point in time. He already knows what he's talking around, what he's denying, even though he just totally contradicted himself by placing himself on the exact same road he denied utterly being on at whatever time she told him. Yeah, Ron. He was up at Ron's house, he said, Meep. But it's not brother-in-law, it's brother. It's something else.
Well, I had no blanket. I had no tree at 10:30 in the morning, bro. Yeah. Well, he's talking about a blanket. That's interesting too. But again, he heard about the blanket thing, and he's going into something that he can easily deny. I want you to talk about Alvin. He's avoiding to talk about the shirt. Why? Because it's true that he didn't see a blanket there in the morning. Brandon also said there was no blanket.
Right. Good point.
Was there a shirt? That should have been the question.
Well, we know that there was else, because when you go and read the affidavits, they talk about the rest of the clothes that was gathered up with that at that particular site. And there was clothes on the ground, and there was what Brandon saw, a t-shirt hanging in the tree. And he was a witness to Haley and them leading Haley to finding it in the afternoon as well.
Was there a pink shirt around 10:45, between 10:40 and 10:50? But you see, he's looking for anything to avoid getting into the center of the claim and the allegation. These people are very easy to analyze, by the way. Very, very easy.
No, it wasn't a tree, or I'm sorry, it doesn't say here in the tip that it has to do with a blanket. It says that you were in a silver vehicle.
Mention the pink shirt, dumbass.
And you were pulled alongside with another vehicle. Okay.
I want him to talk about whether or not he saw the pink shirt. Why is she not asking that?
Willing to swear to a statement? I said, would you be willing to swear to a statement?
I swear to God, with God, I don't bring up to my brother Ron.
I swear to God, I was up at my brother Ron's. Which is you placing yourself really at the scene, dude. To come in from a complete utter denial. Such a bizarre thing to go through with the same person in a flowing conversation. Oh, Alvin, we love you, brother. Just takes a little bit of work.
This is where Alvin should ask, who are you and who are you with? But he also has guilty knowledge. He is focused on what he doesn't want to talk about. And so he's so self-involved and so self-conscious at this time. And that can be a big mistake that people make when they are hiding something, that there are obvious and easy ways to say, I'm going to end this right now, and I'm not running away. I want to know who you are. How do you spell your name? Who are you with? Who received the tip? That's what I would ask immediately. And it doesn't matter whether or not I am here to help or if I'm trying to hide something. This would be what I ask immediately. Who are you? But you see, he is already put on the spot. And that's, she said, you're in a bad mood. She eases, again, this works with these types of people, this kind of strategy, to a degree. And then you get lost.
Okay. Okay, well, I would just...
So, no matter what, he brought up the pink shirt and the blanket. Yeah, it would have been nice maybe if she asked him about the pink blanket, but you can learn so much about the fact that he brought it up without her even having to mention it, telling you that it's on his mind. He leaked. He leaked his avoidance. So it really was an indicator of what he was already worked up to ultimately absolutely deny. He wasn't even there on that road. And then later, after he swears to God, he was at Ron's, 300 meters away. Same place, douche. You placed yourself on the road. Tells me that there is so much validity, or there's credibility to the statements from Brandon. Therefore, it's worth pursuing. Something was going on at that point in time, and I want to know what it was. And we can tell really by the observations. It was extracurricular to what the call was to the RCMP. The fact that Jack and Lily had just been seen. You've got your buddies out already right there out and busy disposing of or destroying or planting or doing some weird bullshit that's associated to Jack and Lily, because you later came back and led Haley Ferdinand into finding this now placed blanket in the tree that wasn't there earlier in the morning. What did they do to Jack and Lily that they need to go to such lengths to bond together and cover all of this up?
Submit this tip then, as I've clarified with you, and if they have any further questions, I'm sure we'll just follow up.
Around 3:30 in the afternoon, that I held the field, not real nice talk to that. What was going on? And this black horse Civic around 3:30 in the afternoon, and I had was heading up in front of ours that afternoon, and I went up there, take the coolers off, and look for the kids all that morning. Well, my mom was on there and had to go pick up the weight there at 5 o'clock down the street. There's no way I was up there at 10:30 that morning.
There's no way I was there at 10:30 that morning. Hey, why are you talking about 10:30? I said 10:40 again. I cannot live with people's mistakes for too long. I have to move on.
Whoever told you that must have said you Warner or somebody else. There's no way I saw it.
Okay,
There's no people on the road that morning.
now you said something about a black Honda Civic?
Yeah, it was, what's that? Oh, it was, yeah, it was like a stepbrother.
Okay, I'm not sure. Is there a name?
Did he say stepbrother? I didn't hear this. I mean, feel free to interrupt. This is my second time anyways. Hayden. Okay, he said stepbrother, right? And he probably refers to Malaya.
Oh, did you? Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Before Christmas, it was before Christmas. So, I was gonna say now, Dan, I think his name was Dan. Halifax called me.
Okay.
But they're all way, I'm telling you, now, like,
Okay, and that would be Lansdowne Station.
where the game started, based on the phone.
Okay.
He said he wanted to leave the first church to get there, and he was trying to find for the name.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear that, sir. My job is.
See, when you tell somebody that whatever it is that I'm telling you in this conversation better not come back on me because you've already given your statements to police, it would suggest that you didn't, one, tell the police the complete truth, the full truth, or everything that you know and what happened that particular day. That you're bonded to a statement rather than bonded to the truth and reality. That you have something to protect. And something that you're worried about coming back on you would go against something that would seemingly already be agreed upon, a bunch of, like a story, a narrative between a bunch of people. You better not come back on you because you recognize that it deviates from what it is that you've already said to police.
Just to clear up the tips, that's all.
It was 7 months. 7 months. So kids with stuff like he was all over the street. What do you call it? Facebook. I just want to be left alone.
Okay.
I just want to be left alone. Otherwise, get your head be honest with you. First time late night, get honest with your head. And the day I was down with my brother Mark, that's when the search was. Like the first time. Why do you think I didn't ask this my sister because there's no place to room? My sister.
So is he referring to seeing a picture of them?
Okay. Okay, well,
That would also be my question. What do you mean you laid eyes on them? And then he would have to tell me I saw a picture. Or then, I have to keep all my options open and say, well, where do you mean you saw them? Do you mean you physically saw them? There needs to be clarifications. And not a lot of people are able to do good follow-up questions, as we have seen in recent interviews. You can have your set of questions, people, but the most important thing is to immediately put on the emergency brake and then go into a follow-up. The good interviewers, they all have one thing in common. They listen, and they are quick, and they ask the right follow-up questions. Because when you ask the right follow-up questions, you can put them in a corner that they can't wiggle their way out of. Meaning you don't fall for his trap, asking you 3 times, what time was it again? I would immediately say, okay, back to the basics. I said around 10:45. Didn't you listen to me in the beginning? Around that time. He doesn't do that. And she missed some really good opportunities here. She missed some great opportunities to get more information from him.
And it's funny, sometimes you miss things, but not that he's missing it. He's pointing it out in a different way. Straight up about, he's not picturing in his mind where he already admitted where Ron lives. He's admitting to being in the place that he just got finished utterly denying, and it was a great find by Mike. Make sure you guys get over there. We're going to wrap things up right now. Thank you to all the members and subscribers for joining us tonight. Make sure if you are watching and you're not subscribed yet that you do so, and hit the notification bell and hit the thumbs up while you're at it. Friends, we'll be back again tomorrow. Have a great Friday night. And make sure you keep your eye out for Mike Dammann's next live stream, whether it's tonight, it'll be following this. He's just waking up there. Hopefully he dovetails on what we talked about here with Alvin and continues on the conversation. Much respect to y'all and much love. Thank you.